Oh, I should probably turn off Big Breathy over here. There we go.
Big breathy, yeah.
Because God knows Bangs is gonna bring him up as usual.
How
Sorry,
dare
air
you be
conditioner.
comfortable? How dare you?
We gotta work for the money, damn it.
All right, we're live. Welcome back.
We gotta work for the money that we don't make.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? There's so much money pouring in from YouTube. What are you talking about? So much money. Man, a lot of tech getting their ass kicked lately.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
There's a lot of tech channels that have just gotten hammered and they're losing views hand over fist. Hand over fist.
I think, I don't know. There's a lot of factors. I think obviously one is, that Google's clamping down as usual.
I don't know. It seems like they tinkered with the algorithm a few months back, and everybody, because last year was epic for everyone because everyone stayed inside, right?
Yeah.
So now the idea is that everyone's going back out and they're watching less YouTube, but all of tech is basically slowly fringing downwards. It's weird. It's absolutely weird.
Is it like maybe because people aren't looking this stuff up, like because they don't want to, they don't have money to buy it with, or they don't want to spend money because market's a little weird, so they're just not looking it up because they don't have money.
I don't know. I haven't had any downturn. Like I had a mild downturn for 2 months ago for a month and a half. Even July was, I mean, July started to build again, but it started out pretty rough. And I looked into it. A lot of companies for ad revenue, for paying for ads, they run out of their second quarter, so they're usually not putting money into advertising at that time. So August it kicks back in, but I haven't noticed really anything major. That's weird. We've had 2 people jump into the stream and immediately leave. So
yeah, I don't see anything in the chat here.
Say hello, everybody.
Hello. Oh, that was for them, not me, right?
Yeah. All the new mics coming out, man. Have you seen some of the mics being teased? You got the King B, the new King B from Neat.
We don't really need new mics. Like,
I disagree. Audio Technica AT2040.
that's fucking Audio Technica.
It's a $99 dynamic front address mic.
Okay, maybe we need more cheap mics.
Do we need more cheap mics?
Maybe we don't need more expensive mics. I think the industry has enough paintbrushes. I don't think we need any more.
An end address dynamic microphone for $99 US. And you know what I find, like, from a dynamic perspective, not enough new cheap dynamics. When you think about it, there's handhelds, but there's not really a lot of cheap dynamic end address microphones being
honestly
released.
if I'm being honest, I don't really like dynamics much anyway. I
As
rarely
he speaks into one.
yeah, this is my Teams mic, man. That's all this thing is for. This is my video call mic.
The $400 microphone.
Yeah, exactly.
For video
that's
calls,
that's its purpose. Now that said, I do, without, to be honest, I do use this for VO, but man, that was suave, right?
I like that. Yeah.
That was great. Yeah, just wing. But no, I do use it for VO. But like the only thing I think really for me that's an advantage, like a practical advantage of dynamic mics, is the mode rejection is really, really good.
Yeah.
The ability, like compared to condenser mics, which are uniformly very sensitive. And if you've got a shitty room, which I do, admittedly, it's not great. But my booth, I've got 2 condenser mics, one of which is not on right now. But I got 2 condenser mics and they work fine. And I
You
prefer
actually
them.
have a booth? Is it like a blanket booth?
No. I would move that, but the cable is not long enough to twirl. But here, I'll send you a message.
You're gonna have to actually do a tour.
Do a tour.
So maybe I'll get you to record a video doing a tour of your studio setup.
Here, they won't be able to see this, but I'm Facebook.
All right, it's got all your porn in the background, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah.
That's why you can't post it. Oh, look at that! Everyone heard that come through. Well, that's nice. Kansas is calling me. Okay, I have to know why Kansas is calling me.
Do it.
Hello. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done.
At least pick a not so stereotypical.
They hung up on me.
They weren't a
Kansas
fan.
doesn't call you every day, man.
Nope. That's funny. I don't know if I know any other Kansas songs, to be honest. I know there are them.
Yeah,
but
there's some songs. How are we still sitting at one concurrent viewer? There's
that's
something
me.
going
That's
on
me.
today.
That's literally me.
That's you.
Yeah, that's me.
Wow.
Yeah, it is dead. Friday dead.
This is impressive.
Yeah. Well, we had one of these a few weeks ago where it only started to get like I think it was like a half an hour in, suddenly it was like poof. Like
Yeah.
maybe the notification didn't go out for some reason. Might want to.
Fascinating.
While you're on stream, can you post like a community update on YouTube or no?
Yeah.
Maybe you should just a little reminder.
Create a post.
Create a post. Ish post. Yeah, I didn't get a notification for the stream on my phone here. Yeah,
Can you
nope.
you found it though easily?
Well, I was on my computer. I was sitting on your page waiting because I knew obviously it was going to show up. But if I look on my phone, like, and I go to my notification in YouTube, there's no indication of us going live.
Wow.
So it just fell off the radar.
Let me check mine. Actually, I can do that here on Chrome.
On Chrome.
I keep a YouTube channel just to be able to see this stuff.
Good. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, no, I got a notification 6 months ago.
Weird. Yeah, I've got notifications turned on. Like, Google? What the fuck are you doing? Like,
I don't think Google knows.
probably again. Well,
Right.
I've heard these full stack engineers at Google. I've heard them mention that like a large part of YouTube is it's a black box. They spit videos in and stuff comes out, and they don't really like. They kind of set certain vague parameters of what happens in the box, but they can't like actively make changes and be like, oh, it did that. I know why it did that. It's like,
Well, they can, but it's an overhaul of the AI, or as everyone
basically.
calls it, the whatchamacallit, the algorithm. The algorithm's a term for AI.
well, the ironic thing is that AI is a large amalgamation of algorithms. It's not just one algorithm.
Well, YouTube isn't a single algorithm. Neither is
No, of course
Google,
not.
right?
If it was, that'd be one hell of an algorithm.
Right?
That would be a really inefficient algorithm.
That's what everyone talks about, is the gaming the algorithm, though. And it's
Oh, yeah. Well, they talk about it in the context of even Facebook uses AI for a lot of this stuff, or machine learning. Using like AI, it's a kind of a different tier. Machine learning is generally what's used. Google might actually use AI because they have their whole deep think division, I think it's called, that does AI stuff using a quantum computer that was made by that Canadian company in Alberta.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
Yeah, D-Wave Computing, the world's first like commercial quantum computer manufacturer.
This is super weird. So we jumped up to 3,
And
and
then
then
we're at 1
boom,
again.
right back down to 1. That is really weird.
If I take my shirt off, would that help? No, that probably is the
No,
other way.
that will not help.
I probably go the other way.
No one asked for that. Forgot you can schedule stuff here. That's cool. Oh, there we go. We got say hello if you come into the stream. This is a weird day, man. This
Hi, person.
never this bad, man. Well, you're right. Like, I think it was about a month, 2 months back where nobody showed up, and then all of a sudden,
something is inconsistent about how. I mean, not inconsistent. I mean, I'm sure if you look at the code in the algorithm, it is quite consistent. But there's so many factors that to an outside viewer, to an outside viewer, see let's saw that. I don't know. It's all these. Maybe it's your title. Maybe it's your title isn't clickbaity enough. I don't know. I'm spitballing at this point. I have no idea what's happening. That is streaming 7 minutes ago. Just title it Aiden Takes His Pants Off. That'll get everybody in immediately. What are you typing?
when is the Neat King Bee 2 coming out? Because I wanted to talk about that. There's one thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to this.
Live.
We still have 2. Anyone say hello.
Someone else. So I'm number 1. So, or I'm number 2. Who's number 1?
You okay over there?
Yes. adjusting myself.
Okay.
That sounds wrong.
That really sounded wrong, buddy. There we go. Nice and clickbaity. Yeah, so Neat King Bee, they announced it, I would say about a month ago. Yeah, I just got
talked
the notification. About it. So I'm curious about something. They put out this advertisement for a new mic coming. A month and a half ago, give or take.
Yeah.
And it's still
I remember
not out.
we talked about it on stream.
Is that wrong to do that, to tease with a microphone?
They're just doing what Intel and NVIDIA have been doing for fucking years.
Yeah, but it's a completely different, it's completely different with, I don't know. To me, it feels like it's frustrating because a month and a half ago, there's people that are waiting with dying mics. One guy, I saw him begging on Twitter, my AT2020 is about to just die. Can you please release it? And
but the thing is there's so many options. Like, you don't need to wait for a new mic. Like, especially even budget mics, dynamic mics. Go get a XM18 whatever.
1800S. No, don't do that to your ears. That's not nice.
Or your interface.
Yeah, why would you want to do that to your? No Behringer products, please. I
thought you liked that. What, the 8500 was it? The other one?
No, I'm not a big fan. It's okay.
I thought you liked it more though than the 18.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
bangs. Oh, thank God. No, thank God.
New mic now. Wow, somebody's in her stream. This
Finally.
is weird.
This has been like, what has it been, like 15 minutes?
No, it's been 10 minutes. It's not bad. Hi, Bangs. Yeah, I don't like the tease of stuff. Release it the same day. Audio Technica 2040, they release a post. They're saying new mic, and they release it at the same time. It's even available in Canada. Which
Canada.
Is almost impossible with most tech releases.
It's available in Canuckville.
Hey, Chef A. 951. Was Chef A 1 through 950 taken? Or is the 951 special?
This must be significant of some
I'm always
caliber.
curious about the numbers in names.
I'm just always curious about names in general. Like bangs, I just picture like sheepdog style, like just a lot of bangs, That's what when I picture bangs.
2040 looks to be a pod mic killer. You know what? I'm not a massive fan of pod mics. They're okay, but I find them incredibly thin.
I think pod mics they're very marketing heavy on those.
Yeah,
on those
like the pod mic looks really nice, and this is one of those things. I'm actually doing up a video about what constitutes a broadcast microphone.
Oh God, yeah.
And I hate the fact that some companies are using the term broadcast microphone.
Well, it's become a buzz term. It's like gluten free, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's garbage.
That's what it's turned into. It's like, what else is gluten free? Lead. Broadcast mics. Oh God.
Yeah. Chef A 951 says it's a diagonal in the numpad. Nice. Not enough thought put into that.
Wow.
Bangs hates the pod mic. Hates it.
I hate it.
He hates it. That's
hate it.
I've got the 2040 on the way, so I should have a hands-on ASAP. We'll see how it goes. It's not even on Amazon yet. In Amazon Canada.
My condolences to your money.
Nah. That's what this whole endeavor does.
Perfect segue. This isn't going to take long, but I have a tangent. So I was going last night. I got a bunch of morning show best of bits because our morning show's off next week. So I got to put in a bunch of best of bit fill at the time. And they sent them to me for some reason in 16 kilohertz sample rate files, 32-bit, 16 kilohertz. Yeah. And they were, for some weird reason, they were 96 kilobit MP3, which is, I guess, if they're 16,000 hertz, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not going to be great anyway. So I was like, okay. And so the only reason I knew that is because I just tried to import them in a wide orbit, and wide orbit was just like, import failed. I'm like, there's a lot of things I hate about wide orbit. The fact that it just says that with no indication of what's wrong.
Yeah.
Usually it's a file type problem. But anyway, so I have a converter app that I use to convert files and to get sample rates and everything. You can use Adobe for that, obviously, but I have a quicker app that does that, a little tiny little thing. So I open it up, and Windows is like, nope. And I'm like, what? Why? And then I went into my start menu and the actual icon disappeared. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I went into my, like, the program files folder, and I went into the folder that the app lived in, and, like, there's, like, a README sitting there, but no executables. I'm like, Windows, what the fuck are you doing? So then I went into Windows Defender. It was like, oh, yeah, we removed that. It was spam. I'm like, no! No, it was not fucking spam. And I'm like, reversed? Can I undo that? It was like, no, you can't. So anyway, so I went to get the installer for it. It's a product made by a company called NCH. Based out of Australia. It's called NCH Switch. It's just a little tiny file converter, batch audio file converter. Works really well, relatively cheap. So anyway, I went on their site, downloaded the installer again. Of course, it's a newer version now. So I used my old serial number, the one that from the however many years ago I got it, and they're like, this isn't the right version, but you can upgrade for this price for like $30 Australian. I'm like, fuck you, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like,
love it.
Stupid win. I most of the time, me and Windows Defender get along great.
I don't ever keep it on.
There's that one tiny percentage of the time I keep it on only because I'm, for work. I'm constantly downloading audio from like a million different places, so I just want to make sure it can vet. Something can vet it.
Nuno Cosmos, not sure. Hey everyone, Nuno says, I agree the pod mic is a giant low cut filter. I'm irritated with not with Nuno. Nuno, you're fine. Cool. Some people say low cut. Other people say low pass or high pass. High pass is obviously the opposite kind of the low pass and high pass can.
High pass and low cut are the same. Low pass and high cut are the same thing.
Right. And I think sometimes that gets confused in people's heads.
Not to be confused with low and high shelf.
Right. Oh.
and then Baxendale shelves.
Yeah.
Which are just low and high.
No, don't worry about it, dude. That is a lot of people have a hard time with that one.
Yeah, if you're talking about a microphone, if your mic has a low pass, get another mic. Your mic should not have a low pass.
Yeah, low pass filters on microphones.
On microphones, yeah. Nope. Even a kick drum microphone doesn't have a low pass on it.
The Bang says ransomware Windows is now ransomware by default.
Yeah,
nice.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I remember when Norton Antivirus detected a bunch of System32 files in the Chinese version of XP were viruses. Yeah, no doubt. It probably was.
Yeah.
By the way, the metrics for the live stream are weird right now.
Well, we've got some engagement finally, at least.
It's just really weird. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Question: do we need more mics on the market, Chef A? If
Aiden and I have reached an impasse on this topic. I don't think we do, personally. I mean, I don't think it hurts every once in a while, but like, there's so many coming out.
If you can improve upon, let's say you want to enter the market at $99 for a microphone. You need to be able to improve upon more than 80% of the mics that are available at the same price point. Right? That's fair, isn't it? Like if you're releasing something that doesn't.
If you can make good, not corner cutting tech for cheaper, which is kind of what we've seen over the last 35, 40 years, is how accessible good things have become. If you can, I don't know, make that more so, but I don't think a lot of companies want to do that.
No,
they like making things for expensive so they can pad out their labor fees.
No. To be fair, Audio-Technica releases good quality products. I don't have any problem with them. The latest one is a hypercardioid, which I'm a little curious about. That's the part of it that I'm like, oh, hypercardioid. Now there is supercardioid, man. How do I do hypercardioid, man?
Don't. Yeah, right. Yeah. You just be really, really excited.
Just make them run super
fast.
Yeah,
just cardioid with like ADD, or like the Flash.
Yeah, 80 to 16 kilohertz, 80 hertz to 16 kilohertz. Sensitivity negative 53 dB, which is actually on par with the SM58, if I recall. 600 ohm impedance.
Yep.
That's it. But there's nothing else. That's all you get out of that. Hypercardioid. And a pivoting mount. But the problem, and this is the one thing that kind of spurred the whole broadcast.
Miss Ravioli. Hello.
This is what spurred the whole conversation about broadcast microphones and what makes a broadcast microphone. Is that like they release it, it looks like a broadcast microphone. Why?
Like, I think one of, I mean, I don't think it was the first, but one of the first microphones to really lean on that marketing was the SM5. Way back, you know. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, but
I
the
haven't seen one in a
SM5
while.
was
The old egg mic.
Yeah, but it was an actual broadcast microphone.
It was. But like that was back in an era where broadcast was a technical qualification.
Yes.
Now it's a marketing qualification. Now because everyone wants one, right?
But okay, so and this is the definition of broadcast is supposed to be a microphone that you can. So the reason broadcast microphones exist. So the RE20, which you have in front of you. The reason that was a synonymous microphone with radio was because it didn't matter who you put in that seat, it was going to sound decent.
Yeah, it was a good Swiss Army knife.
It didn't matter if your evening girl came on, the woman that was doing evenings, and she had a higher pitched voice, she still sounded good on an RE20. That was the point.
They're also, you know, the broadcast mics are robust because they're meant to be, you know, finagled and banged around.
Oh my God, that's loud! Wow.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it's not a shock mount, which is another thing typically. And you know, I cheaped out because I just used one that I was given for free. It's like pretty much as cheap as you can get.
Yeah.
I'm not using the spider mount for this, but obviously it's pretty standard that you would see, you know, mics like this with that.
But that's the thing. Yes, you want it to have. Bang says, I assume broadcast large diaphragm dynamic by default. Yeah.
In a lot of cases, sometimes no, but yeah, a lot of the time.
But for the most part, the one thing engineers, because it's the engineer of a radio station that chooses the microphones for a radio station. It is not anyone else. So the GM, the PD, no one chooses a microphone. It's the engineer that goes, what's my budget? I'll go get the microphone.
Well, it depends. I mean, that may have been, and it still might be how a lot of stations operate, but in our corner, engineering doesn't have a budget for anything. Engineering is operating in the budgets of programming or sales. So our PD usually says, okay, you know, essentially they might take some recommendations from some, but like
dumb idea.
But the PD is typically the one that
you know why that's a dumb idea. PD isn't the one that's dialing in all the compression, EQ on the mics. It's the engineers doing that.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, you know, PDs typically have been in the business for a while. They know what they're not going to choose an XM 1800 to do on air stuff.
I know a lot of PDs that have come through the sales part of it that have no concept of what a decent broadcast is.
Yeah, in that case, they shouldn't pick it. But depending on how your station operates, like I know for us, for production, for example, engineers didn't pick production microphones. We picked the UM89. That was our decision as a department that was the best choice.
Oh, if you're in production, I'm talking about the on-air stuff. And that's the thing. Like, usually, they'll get the microphone that's going to suit as many voices as possible that they don't have to tinker. And that's why broadcast microphones became a thing. Why the RE20, the RE27. Why these microphones became standards is because you literally placed them, you had your EQ curve, you had your compression, and you were done. And that was that. You had a radio station. You had broadcast. You don't have that anymore.
No.
Bang saying Audio-Technica was a company that made a good condenser mics for the cheap and broke major barriers. Agreed with that. SM58 is 54.5. I was close. I assume the broadcast, large diaphragm. The broadcaster destroyed that opinion. Dynamics save on soundproofing and treatment, kind of. They do save a bit, but not really. If you're in a shitty environment, it doesn't matter what microphone you're on. It's still going to be crappy audio.
We did talk about that earlier, though. One of the only thing really that I like about, well, I guess two things. One is dynamic mics are typically more robust. They can take a beating physically and sonically. Take a beating. Condenser mics generally can't. And yeah, the rejection is far, far more drastic on most dynamic mics.
I can still hear your room behind you.
Oh yeah, and that's because I'm being compressed, and not so pristine of a way by a shitty DBX.
But that's also where broadcasters.
There's also zero soundproofing in here with a vinyl floor.
Yeah,
this room is way worse than it sounds right now.
Oh, do you also know the other reason that the RE20 became the broadcast mic of choice? because of the variable D. I keep forgetting how to say that. Variable D, which takes away most of the proximity effect when you get in nice and close. Even this one, this is a Neumann that actually does reduce a lot of the proximity effect.
You still sounded pretty bassy there, bud.
Well, not as bad as some, man. Some of them are really bad.
Well, honestly, some in some areas, and granted, they're not necessarily broadcast, but there's a lot of people that take advantage of that proximity effect to sound bigger.
It's
film trailers, example 1.
Yeah, dynamic say dumb idea comes from management. That's so true sometimes. Dylan is in witness protection again. What
He was talking about when I did that.
Oh, nice. I like it. Dylan has seen some shit. Working with me, I don't doubt it. By the way, BCM 104. This is when I quizzed Dylan on it to see if he can guess what the microphone
Again,
was.
I just knew it was that dumb upside down thing that stations get because it's upside down. And
Well, it's usually because it's on a boom arm and it's hanging down. I like the low profile. I don't like the fact that this is straight up off of the bolt. Usually because microphones have...
Well, I think the idea is, on the topic of low profile, I think the idea was that it was nice to have that low profile so you could, you're not dodging all this hardware anytime you move around with it, which I kind of like that about that mic, actually. I like how easy, as a operator, I like how easy it is to use.
Yeah, it's also this is the palm mic. This is the one where everyone, when it's on the boom arm, grab it from behind and talk into it like this.
Which to me feels so weird. Like that, to me, that feels like I'm grabbing the RE20. Although, the mic is designed for that. So whereas
Stop
this
grabbing your mic. Put it away.
You're just saying that because you can't make yourself loud enough.
No,
I'm so much louder than you are.
Stop grabbing the mic. Stop. You don't need to grab your microphone. You should place your mic before you start speaking and stay on mic. You don't need to move around while you're talking. You don't need to be like, hey, so yeah.
Have you been in an on-air studio before?
Oh, it drives me nuts.
Have you been in an on-air studio before?
Yes.
I mean, that's why they make these mic arms silent when they move. And typically why there's shock mounts attached is so that you can move around while you're talking if you need to.
Okay.
Especially with a dynamic mic, where unless I'm like right here, I kind of disappear.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's not great,
especially if it's a cardioid. But
yeah. Whereas if I grab my Vanguard with the Omni setting, which granted would make this room sound so much worse, I could pretty much be anywhere.
I'm going to order the Audio Technica microphone.
Audio Technica.
Should I do it? Well, yeah, screw it. Do it while I'm on.
Which is that? Is that the one you were just talking about?
Yeah, the AT2040.
The $90 one or the $99?
Oh, I got to sign in. I'll do that.
That seems to be like a sweet spot. There's a lot of mics around that.
Well, but I mean, it needs to fill a void that's not filled. Like the pod mic, as much as I didn't like the pod mic, it filled a void. It was a very affordable, stylish microphone that was dynamic, that you podcasters could use and plug directly into the Rodecaster Pro and go, instead of using an SM58. However, I still say that an SM58 sounds 10 times better than a pod mic.
Yeah, well, again, like I always, people are like, well, SM58 is not that great. Why is everyone using it? It's like, well, you know what? Again, industry standards don't become industry standards because they picked a name out of a hat. That's not how that's decided. It's decided because something works, consistent results, consistent product, and before you know it, it becomes ubiquitous and kind of starts showing up everywhere.
The pod mic does look like an expensive mic for streaming. I like this. I know a YouTube news channel, and they use a dummy prop Yeti mic, and the host just manhandles it and talks into it wrong. You know what?
Yeah, I have. It's funny. I have seen on another channel, I don't know if it's probably not the same one, but I've seen another channel where, you know how lapel mics labs have a very signature sound?
Yes.
They're using an SM7 in front of his face, but obviously they bought it and they either couldn't figure out how to use it or they found it was too loud. So you can clearly hear and see a lavalier sticking off of his thing, but he's talking into the SM7. And I'm like...
Dude, okay, so the one thing I got is Potato Jet. Have you ever watched his channel? He does a lot of camera reviews and stuff. And he's got this setup where it's a low angle looking up at him, and he keeps an SM7B almost sitting on the table below him that's at like just above belly button level, and he has great audio. And I'm like, wait, is that SM7B isn't what you're recording through, is
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about it, you know, and you can get really good results, like decent results, intelligible speech, you know, not a ton of ugliness from a lav mic, which is essentially on your chest pointed up at your mouth. If that can work, then actually having a physical mic in the kind of that same general area makes sense. It's not going to be as good as having it in that ideal sweet spot because you're going to get a lot of nasaliness.
But that's the thing. But also, like, it's decent audio, and I mean, you can tell if you gain up, even in a studio, you gain up, you're going to get a lot of noise. And this guy isn't known for his audio; he's known for his camera stuff. So I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe it's just a little lapel mic. It's a Canadian host. They use laws on this guy too. Boom mic, most likely. Yeah, he's probably Potato Jet's probably boom mic. I want to know who this Canadian host is that fakes people out with a Blue Yeti. Oh. Also, speaking of Bangs, you're going to appreciate this. This is a Blue Snowball. This is the first microphone that I ever said you should buy on this channel. This is, if you go back to my very first video, how to set up a podcast.
It's like a bocce ball.
Basically, it does. I basically said, everyone basically just go get a mic and get started. And that was the point behind it. You can get relatively okay audio out of a Snowball. It's not, I'm going to say it's better than some mics I've worked with, 1800S, just saying. So I'm going to actually do a video to see, is the Blue Snowball still as crappy of a mic, or does it have any? This is my daughter's, by the way. So what do you think? How bad do you think the audio is going to be off this? I've never listened to it. I've heard the Blue Snowball. I've used a Blue Snowball, but I think it's been like
Wait, you recommended people buy it, but you had never heard it?
No. I've used it before. It's been about 5 years since I've used it last. I haven't.
So you haven't in
this one.
Gotcha.
This one was my daughter's. I don't know if it has a buzz like the Blue Yeti that that I borrowed from my buddy when I did the video on why you shouldn't buy a Blue Yeti. He was so pissed at me, by the way. I don't know if it has that blue buzz like most blue microphones do. So I'm curious to see. Bang says it's not horrible. And I got to say, I'm going to be... A lot of people shit on this microphone. However, I still think this is less of an egregious microphone than the Blue Yeti. I think the Blue Yeti's worse than this. Now,
yeah, I haven't heard anything from that. I've heard a lot from the Blue Yeti, and I'm not a fan.
Well, for what you pay, you got to remember, there's a price to performance metric that you have to consider.
Always.
And for the Blue Yeti, what you get and what you pay, two very blindly different things. And the Snowball was, I think, $70 Canadian. Like, it was super cheap. So, price to performance.
But speaking of new mics, what's Blue's latest product?
Blue's latest product.
Yeah, what's the latest mic that they've put out? Because I mean, we're talking about mics from them that have been around for years. So I'm actually kind of curious what their most.
They've got the Encore 200 dynamic microphone. It's a handheld. They also have the Spark is relatively recent, I think. The Spark is kind of turned into the new Blue Yeti. It's kind of like that. It's an XLR 265 Canadian, so probably about $199 American. I've seen a lot of people remarking on that one, liking that the Blue Spark has become it's the little hang down microphone. Bang says he owns an Encore 200. What does the Encore sound like? Is it decent? I think, Banks was asking me to review it. I just couldn't get I kind of got sick of doing handheld mics for a while there. All I was doing was handheld mics.
We're like a solid 6 months.
It was getting pretty old after a while. Maybe just slow down on it. Bought the Encore for the shiny copper grill.
Powered dynamic. That's
no. Well, I mean, I just did a powered dynamic with that bloody Aston Stealth one. That's a powered dynamic.
That makes sense because that's got all kinds of weird active circuitry in it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, when dynamic mics, I'm always kind of a purist. the less that they cram into it, the more happy I generally am. Condensers, I have a bit of a different approach, but
yeah, the big problem with the Snowball or Snowball Ice is no 3.5 millimeter jack to monitor on. Yeah, that is a bit of a problem. If you can't monitor and you're not watching your levels on whatever you're going through, that's not a good idea. I have a phantom powered dynamic. Oh, so here, has anyone ever searched microphone terms online? And I feel like there's a big hole in the world missing. I was searching broadcast microphones earlier for something I'm writing a new video, and there was one link that actually said that you should try the SM7B. It's a dynamic condenser. There are articles out there that still refer to the SM7B as a dynamic condenser.
A dynamic condenser. That's funny.
But that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't really make any sense.
But there's multiple articles out there with that.
I think it's maybe one of those AliExpress things where they throw as many keywords into the name of the product as humanly possible so that it shows up in so many searches.
These were review articles, dude.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with it. I'm like, aren't you guys supposed to know?
So what is the actual, like, if you go on the manufacturer's site, like, did they describe it as? Because it could just be some reviewer that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
No, does not describe the SM7B as
dynamic. Dynamic condenser.
Dynamic condenser, no.
Well, it's factually not. Okay, I didn't hear you say SM7. I thought we were talking about something else. No, the SM7B is SM7B. Dynamic. It's an EMF mic. Like, that is a straight up moving coil microphone. You idiot.
I didn't want to say it.
I'm like, what?
Nuno Cosmo says the 1800S is about €15. And I think it sounds better than the Snowball. Okay, if the 1800S sounds better than I hate the sound of the 1800S. If it's better than the Snowball, I'm going to be very disappointed in the Snowball.
Well, we'll see, right? We'll see.
It does some active EQ of some sort. Interesting. Condenser is like a large diaphragm sort of increases the capture. Idiots. Yeah, you know what? That's the problem. But that's where, like, I'm starting to realize, like, because I like to go when I'm coming up with video ideas, and I wanted, like, to discuss what broadcast microphones mean. Because broadcast microphones isn't a type of microphone. It's more of a kind of a statement on the microphone. So this is a broadcast microphone. Broadcast dynamic cardioid.
I think another thing to consider too with and why the term broadcast mic has sort of changed in its usage in the last 15 years is back in like the 60s and 70s when the only industry or one of the only industries that was really critical to have a microphone that worked 24 hours a day and sounded amazing was broadcast. Even a lot of recording studios had mics that were less than a broadcast mic because it was so much more commercially. Like this was when radio was killing it, right? Radio was making, millions of dollars a year. And so I think now, though, where a lot of microphones have reached, like even cheap microphones have reached that sort of broadcast quality range that we used to consider to be so elusive, and it's now not so elusive. I think that term has kind of just become whatever.
Well, here's the thing. So there are other titles for microphones that you can have. You have voiceover mics. So the U87AI would be probably categorized as a voiceover mic. And
by some.
Most. I mean, most people, what are you going to use it for?
You can use it for lots of things.
Yes, I understand that. But people aren't like, I got to mic my cabinet. Hey, you got that U87AI? And while most people envision that on the shock mount, somebody talking into it, the voiceover trailer.
I think most individuals who buy it, like people, are generally considering it to be what you said, a voiceover mic. But I think when an institution buys it, like a recording studio, they're buying it because it's it is a
recording
studio class.
Studios know what's going on. Like, if you own a recording studio and you're buying a U87, you know what you're buying it for. But the perception is, because I don't see an RA20.
The optics.
I don't see an RA20 as a broadcast microphone. I see it as a microphone with a cool form factor. I like the form factor. I like the black one more than I do the sickly gray. But that's the thing. Like, I'm also a broadcaster. Mm-hmm. But then there's also another conversation. Technically, podcasters are not broadcasters. So a pod mic technically would be a broadcast mic.
Yeah, well, it's funny. That's the other thing, too, is is broadcast mics used to be reserved exclusively for like OTA radio, and now that there's so many other forms of broadcast that aren't OTA, you know, we've got this.
We're broadcasting right now, technically with 2 broadcast microphones. This is a broadcast.
Yeah, this is a digital broadcast.
Yeah. I once saw a dynamic shotgun mic 4 or 6 feet long. Damn.
Yeah.
It's those are the football. But oh yeah, meant for football stadiums to pick up gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah. Or some of the shotgun style mics, or I should really say just shotgun pickup pattern, because the Labyrinth is designed differently, that are used in parabolic microphones.
Yep. I've seen those.
Those can be interesting to look at and tear apart.
I've got because one of my dream mics is the MKH416. I want to know what the distance is on that before you start losing fidelity on the audio.
Like how far away you can be from it? Generally, I mean, with most shotgun mics, the sweet spot is quite long. And if you look at the pickup pattern, it's like, whoop. I mean, they're designed so that you could, like that, even though that mic has sort of been repurposed for VO, I mean, it's still used on location all the time.
Well, and like some of that stuff, some of that on location, you've got to be well out of shot.
Oh yeah, you've like, especially, you know, well, I think in a lot of wide shots they find alternative ways. But if you're on like a, you know, a closer medium shot, you know, you have to be like sometimes 10, 20 feet away from the actual source, either below it or above it, depending on the environment. I used to do boom op stuff. It's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, you get tired real fast.
You get tired quickly, but like you got to think on your, like you got to be dialed in. Like,
oh yeah,
like if there's a vent or something, or like there's a plane, like you got to choose which angle you're from, and constant communication with the camera. Like it's stressful, but it's kind of a fun gig.
Curtis Judd says the 416 is very heavy because it was meant for analog recorders. Huh. Interesting. I've never used an MKH416.
It does have a hot output. I've never owned one or anything. I plan on it in the future, but one of my VO buddies was saying he's got his gain sometimes set at like like 7 or 8 o'clock.
Oh really?
Yeah. And it doesn't they don't need phantom power because they're Electret condensers, as generally all shotgun mics are.
It's funny. I ran into this over the week. I'm actually in the middle of shooting the video for the Isovox. And for my out of the box video, like when I'm discussing the Isovox, I had to set up a microphone outside, and just standing there in front of a microphone like a lead singer of a really shitty band, talking into this microphone. I just set up the NT2A on, actually it's still set up over there right behind me.
You should try to mount that Isovox on a boom arm.
Look, there's the Rode. The Rode mic is actually still sitting on the mic stand.
Mount.
And I just stood there with a mic stand. And I stood outside the Isovox like, this is the Isovox. And I'm like, man, I could really use a shotgun right now. Like a shotgun mic would have been fantastic. Just boom over me.
Honestly, it's not ideal, but I've even used just regular pencil mics, and you can't get as far away, and you don't get the same isolation. But as far as the same general fidelity, it works.
Here's my issue, because I can also get a camera top one. My issue is if you're tuning into a sound-based YouTube channel and the sound isn't good. That's
not on point, yeah.
That would make me turn off fast. It's like tuning into a filmmaker's YouTube channel and the video sucks.
And the video's like all grainy, low light crap, and you're like, what?
And so like everyone's saying, oh man, you can just go out and get the Deity S Mic 2 and you're fine. I don't want fine. This YouTube channel, if I show up with shitty audio,
yeah. So Rode makes decent, like good shotgun mics, I would say. Audio Technica does as well. I have an Audio Technica shotgun. I can vouch.
Yeah, filmmaker stuff. Rode is filmmaker stuff through and through. But I mean, then the one Rode, I think it's the NTG 2 or 3. That is the really expensive one. It's only a couple $100 less than the Sennheiser MKH416. So why don't I just go out and buy the Sennheiser the one that's actually meant as a boom mic? I know they're all meant as boom mics, but
I mean, you could get something as well like the MKE600, which is a cheaper broadcast mic from Sennheiser.
Yeah, I could.
Like substantially, like that's like less than, I think it's like $400.
Yeah, but then why not? I'm making money at this, so I might as well just save up and go get it.
Yeah.
Right?
That said, absolutely, but like functionally, if you need a shotgun mic now,
Yeah, I guess that's true. No, I mean, technically, I could have just went out and bought an MKH 416.
like I'm a huge fan of Sennheiser as a company. I think as much as ironically I don't own that many Sennheiser things. I mean Neumann is Sennheiser, so
Yeah.
I guess that
You own
counts.
a lot.
Yeah, I own $4,000 in Sennheiser.
NTG3 is voiced like the 416. Oh, hey, Hint Shrimp. Haven't seen you around. I got a new hamster. Congratulations, Hint Shrimp. That's awesome.
Back in the saddle.
Oh no, I would never use camera top on an MKH. It's the
No, that's an insult to a 416.
I've got for scratch audio on my camera. I've got the Rode Video Mic Go. It's the cheapest one they've got, and I only use it for scratch because my camera, if it's right behind me, is sitting in a teleprompter. So I didn't want to have scratch audio that was like muffled really badly.
Yeah, you gotta have this, like, it's like having a tent in front of your mic.
Kinda. So I got the Rode Video Mic Go so I could just have scratch. It's all I care about is scratch audio. And it's good for scratch. It's not good for anything else. It's absolute shite. So this is why I wanted to go get a C stand, set up the shotgun mic, and I think if I ever have to do another video much like this Isovox video, I think I'm just going to go out and buy the mic.
It's a 416. It's worth it. I mean, it's 100% worth it.
Yeah, like I can put my H5, attach my H5 to the C stand, and just always have that constantly recording off of that. Like, doesn't even need to go through my audio fuse because the amount of gain you require for it is minimal.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's probably what I'm going to...
I ended up going kind of the other route, and I got an interface for my camera, so now I don't have to do any sync. Like I can record the audio through a decent preamp straight in, and it gets coupled with the video. It saves me the sync time, which isn't much, granted, but it's still like an annoyance I just don't have to deal with anymore.
You know what? I kind of like the idea of being able to sync my audio afterwards. It feels more secure to me.
It feels pro.
To be able to record my video and my audio separately, and I know that the quality will be there and nothing will get screwed up. When you plug into a DSLR, you're plugging into the DSLR's converter.
Mm-hmm.
And if something goes wrong with that converter, you won't know mid-shoot.
It's one of those things the converter's probably not going to have an issue, especially if you've got like a decent DSLR. But what you might run into is like every DSLR is different, and DSLRs generally aren't known for having the best onboard audio.
No.
So it's one of those things that before you go out and say, I'm fine, I can just record on the, like, test it. Test it. Like one thing that I do usually is I will record in through the interface in the camera before the shoot. Do a quick video, test 1 2, test 1 2, stop recording, listen to it on the camera through headphones, plug the and if even through the headphone preamp in the camera, if it still sounds good, I'm like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
And usually as long as the gain going in is solid and can combat the not great noise floor of the input, then I'm usually good.
I will start to record into my camera when I get a C200 or a C300. When I can upgrade to that comfortably and not have any concerns, then I'll start plugging my XLRs into the camera.
I thought Canon had good audio.
Canon, the T7i, it's a whatchamacallit? It's not even a 1/4-inch jack, man.
Yeah.
Like it's also the problem with those is they're horrendous. Like they'll get dirty and scratchy.
I don't think any DSLR would really have a 1/4-inch. I think that's really exclusive cinema camera.
It's the what is the measurement on it? Because I hate that they use 1/4.
It's 1/8 inch. It's 1/8 inch.
It's 1/8 inch
or 3.5 millimeter.
3.5
7 millimeter.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to remember.
TRS or MTRS.
Yeah. Amazon has used 416s going for cheap every April in the U.S. as tax day approaches.
Of course, he says that to me in fucking July, right?
Right?
Love it.
You know what? Maybe I'll just reach out to Sennheiser. Hey, YouTubers here.
Yeah, that's gonna go really well. I mean, hey,
it's worked for me before.
They helped out Linus, but then again,
they've actually. I've had companies go, okay. So I mean, maybe it would be nice. I don't want to spend. It's 1,200 Canadian plus tax. Frank Triggs, how's it going, Frank? The SE Electronics X1S looks like a good budget mic for me. Only 89 euros, 89 pounds on sale here in the UK at the moment. Good specs. I need to get the handheld, the SE Electronics V7. It's called. Everyone's been saying this was Bandrew's favorite mic. I need to get it. Need to try it. I'm so out of handheld mics right now, though, and I don't think it's going to take me a bit. Maybe in a month or so.
It's like eating Eggos for breakfast for like 2 years straight, and then just getting to the end and be like, I fucking hate Eggos.
It's also looking at my stack of handheld microphones, going, ooh. I'm not miking anything right now, but I have like a bunch of handheld microphones. Maybe we'll get there soon. I finally upgraded to a Scarlett 2i2 from a Behringer UMC 22. Nice job, Hintership. That's going to be a nice little upgrade there.
Yep.
Check out the SE Electronics X1S specs at Gear for Music. Would like to see a review of it compared to the Rode. Okay. I don't think that one's handheld, that SE Electronics X1.
Yeah, also, hint of shrimp, I think that Bangs is being genuine there. I do not think that's sarcasm. 24-bit, you will have a lot of nice sort of gain staging freedom with 24-bit than you would with 16-bit. You can record quiet things with 24-bit.
Yeah, X1A. Or is it the X1S that they were saying to pick up? X1S, yeah. Where'd it go? SE Electronics, S1A, X1R.
They just went the whole alphabet.
Yeah. I'll look into it. It's only $129. I'll throw that in my. I'm going to Red One Music to pick up the. Oh, avshop.ca has it too.
I would love to talk to some of these manufacturers that make a modified version of the mic and learn, because sometimes they're not very vocal about why they choose certain letters to go at the end of their model number. U87 AI, prime example. The original U87, the U87 AI. There is a reason. I'm just not familiar with what the reason is why they chose AI.
Oh, I was going to say this. By the way, my contact who got me this microphone, not going to say who it is because technically he wasn't allowed to lend me the mic, does have an original U87. Would you like to do a side-by-side with the U87 AI?
It would be an interesting comparison. I mean, again, it's hard because it's been used. And any mic that's been used for X number of years, especially as old as that probably is.
But you're not going to find a brand new U87.
No. Well, that's it. So whenever people are comparing the AI to the not, I mean, people shit on the AI. I'll say that right out of the gate. The AI gets a lot of flack for a variety of reasons, some justified, some not. But yeah, it would be an interesting comparison.
All right, I'll try to get that mic lent to me when you come out to my stretch of the woods. So, by the way, that's I've got to pack it in here in a few minutes. That's next week. There will be no stream because I am going to be going to East Coast of Canada. East Coast of Canada there, bud.
All right there, bud. Yeah.
Oh, no, there, bud. We're going to be staying in Quebec there, bud.
Oh, getting right fucking nigger there, bud.
Everybody that's going to be speaking weird is going to be speaking French. Don't worry. Hint Shrimp, Dark Corner Studios. I'm having this weird issue with the X1A mic. I just got it from giveaway. Could I DM you about it? Sure. That's weird. I can't guarantee I'll get back to you immediately, but I will get back to you when I can. Retro Gaming Bygones. Andrew loves his AI. Yeah. I mean, you're still getting a $4,000 microphone. I guess
it still is a phenomenal mic. It's just if you ever go on Gear Sluts, like with anything on Gear Sluts, take it with a grain of salt because there's a lot of opinions there that are not qualified really at all, and a lot of people just love to say, that's shit. That's not as good as that. There's a lot of Don Cherries on Gear Sluts.
Yeah, no, it's a bunch of old men who just figured out how to use a keyboard. I'm sorry, that whole...
It's true, right? The grammar and there's typos all over the place.
It's and it's a bunch of old radio engineers who are like, no, the mics are back in my day, everything now. Like the C414 debate. Everybody's the original C414s were so much better.
Or even the AKG C12, they compare the more recent, and they're like, it's not like it was in the olden days, and it's like, well, fuck the olden days.
Yeah,
in the olden days, you were recording at 15 inches per second to tape, you fucking asshole. Shut up.
By the way, I did see the AKG C314 on sale for $800.
I didn't even know there was a 314.
There
I
is
thought
a
it was 2 in the 4. Interesting.
Apparently, the 314 is just kind of a scaled down 414. Would you buy it for $800?
Nah, I don't know anything about it. I'm not gonna chance that much coin on something I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd look into it, and if I hear nice things about it, maybe then. But right now, at this exact second, no.
Yeah, that amount of money on something that's kind of a wild card.
Wait on the 414. It's worth it.
That's kind of tough. Am I allowed to do that in Canada? Oh yeah, there, bud. I'm allowed to go anywhere I like. Actually, the nice thing about where I'm going is we're going to a place called Gaspé. Gaspe.
Gaspé.
It's where you can see the whales. Actually, they have a lot of whales out there, and it's in the same province that I'm living in right now.
What about Ireland, or is it just Wales?
Just Wales. Yeah. Okay. Just Wales. Yeah. Nice. That was bad, man. You can actually see the whales, and it's in the same province I'm in. In fact, I'm gonna drive. Get this, for anyone that's driven cross country, I'm gonna drive for 11 hours straight, and I'm gonna still be in the same province, and I'm gonna hit the water. That's essentially, I'm gonna get to the ocean, driving 11 hours straight. That's ridiculous. You can buy a used 414 around 800. Yeah, if I'm going to buy a C414, I don't know if and that's 800 American. This is 800 Canadian. Yeah, so that's like 600
honestly,
American.
I've kind of done a bit of a 180 when it comes to buying microphones used. Originally, I thought it was okay. I kind of learned my lesson with this RE20. It has been more work than it's worth.
Yeah, no, and I'm going to admit, like the Austin Stealth that I bought it for $250 used. Never again. Especially one that's that cheeky. That cheeky of a microphone, no thank you. I want nothing to do with that. If it were just a cardioid C414, not multi-pattern. No, they actually have multi-patterns. It just doesn't have as many multi-patterns as the C414. So I think it's only 5 pattern instead of 9, and it looks a little cheaper. Like the pattern selector isn't as nice. So I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to. Nah.
Don't do it. No. I know. I kind of put mics into that category of like human interface devices. Like you are directly interacting with them, and it's so buying a used microphone to me is like kind of buying a used smartphone. It's like I'm not a fan.
If I can afford to, I'm not going to. Australia just put out the military to enforce lockdown rules. Yeah, no, we're not that bad yet. We're getting there, but we're not that bad yet. It's
3.5 inches per second. I mean, it's not as bad as cassette tape.
Inches per second. Oh, you're talking
8.9. Yeah, he's saying he's got to hold. And I mean, the consumer standard has varied. You can get consumer that does like 3.5. 3.5 is weird though. Like 7.5, 15, 30. Those are kind of usually the numbers that tape machines. Like mine does 15 and 30. It will not go below 30. But cassettes are, I think, like 1 3/4 or 1 1/4 or something stupid. Or I think, something 1.5 or something stupid like that.
It was taking me a while. Retro says you can sell the Stealth to me. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll set up I don't want to do it through eBay. I hate eBay. That bothers me.
I've actually never used eBay. A lot of people have said, "Oh man, you can get like this mod thing and that." I'm like, I don't want to get into eBay.
No, I've sold a few things. I've sold a few RE20s on there. I've sold a few things on eBay, but the cut is ridiculous. Like it's almost not worth it unless you're.
How does it compare to like Kijiji?
Kijiji's free.
Is it free? I've never used either of them. So
Kijiji is posted.
So why the hell when you just use
Craigslist?
Why when you just use Kijiji?
Mics are not selling right now. People don't want to buy mics.
Doesn't seem tech in general is selling right now.
No, it's kind of tough. Retro, let me think about that. How I would do that? No, well, let me try to figure it out. Let me see if there's a way I can do that. Stay tuned on that, because maybe what I might do is like a bit of a binge and find a way to sell them to the people that are subscribed to this channel. So if you want a Dark Corner Studios mic, I don't know, I'll lick them or something.
What's
it
the
personalizes them?
Side note? What's the cut of Facebook Marketplace?
0.
Really?
Yeah, you sell it for free. The problem is, and this is the biggest problem, is you'll post something like I posted a couple mics up. I put the Stellar X2 up, and I know what it's worth. It's a fantastic mic. It's in
You'll get haggled.
mint condition. No, guys will come on. I'll say, okay, this is $300 flat. And so we go, I'll give you $100. Okay,
Yeah, well, that's it. They'll haggle. They're haggling.
No, that's not a haggle. If I tell you it's firm, show up at my door with the money that I told you I want, and you can take it away. If you don't, I'm going to keep the microphone.
Yeah,
up
but
on my stand.
they're trying to talk you down, right?
Yeah, well, then they
think it's negotiable.
They can eat a dick. I have zero interest in, like, there's certain things, like I put up I had too many SM58s. So I put up an SM58 for sale. It's brand new. I used it twice. So I put it up it costs $125 Canadian for it. So I put it up for $95 because it was used twice, and I want to give somebody a deal.
That's pretty good. That's a good deal.
$95. And the guy was literally like, "Oh, I'll give you 50." No, you won't.
This isn't an auction, man.
Yeah, you can walk up to my house with the money, give me the money, and walk away.
Or stay the fuck away from my house.
Right?
Those are your two choices.
Bandrew, Neumann BCM 104, bruh. Yes, lent to me by a person who works in radio. That is outfitting.
Can you say the occupation, or
he's an engineer. He's an engineer.
Okay, I was gonna say, I don't know if that narrows it down too much.
No. I don't think there's anybody watching that that is going to be like, oh man,
I know who that is.
So much trouble. He's also one of these engineers that no one would ever fire him because
he's too valuable. Yeah.
Well, he's the guy that literally, when he goes into work, nobody knows what he does. All they do is, hey, could you please make sure this place doesn't burn down and we don't go off the air? And they trust him enough. He's been doing it for 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
That nobody even questions his decisions. If he decided to light a match and burn down the main control, they would have figured it's for a reason. Like, they would literally be like, well, I guess he decided to burn it down.
Don't question the engineer.
Yeah, this is not my first time with the BCM 104. I used to have this at, actually, CKDJ had this. This was the mic at CKDJ.
Yep.
BCM 104. I used the BCM 705, which is kind of the dynamic version of this at my last job at Bob.
I was going to say, I thought CK was the 705 because it had a very dynamic profile to it.
See, here's the difference between the two. The BCM 104 has the red strip, and the 705 is green. Yeah,
so the ones at CKDJ were green.
Were they green?
Yep.
I was almost sure it was the 104.
They were green.
Oh. Well, they've had these. This was the
now,
at Magic.
Maybe they got new ones. I don't know why they would. But
I'm almost positive it was red, man.
Let's ask Melon. Melon.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. You were arguing over that. I do know that they had these at Magic 100 when I was interning in my internship there. Podcast
Magic.
is Destroy Away. I need a vacation, but I have a year's worth of stuff to review anyway, and there are plenty of mics I haven't reviewed yet. I'm finding that's a bit of an issue right now. I'm getting way behind on reviews. And I'm kind of stuck on this. I'm only doing one a week. I don't want to do 2 reviews a week because, oh my God.
Blue is the dynamic. What?
No, it's
what's green then? I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's green.
Yeah, the BCM 705 is green.
If blue is the dynamic, then is the green like ribbon? Like what's the green?
Unless it's US. BCM 705.
Look it up. Yeah, maybe they did do different releases.
Neumann
is kind of anal about the colors of their logos.
They're dark green.
Okay, I thought so.
Dark.
They're like a forest green, I think. Eh?
Yeah, it's very pretty, very very pretty.
I know that the some of them are purple, but I don't think any in that series are purple.
I have not seen the purple one. You may be right if I messed it up. My bad. No, it's okay. It's color, man. I see, and I haven't. I don't mind these for broadcast. I don't like these for voiceover.
They're not for that.
I know, but, well, I mean, they're not for that. I mean, mics are mics. The SM7B wasn't for broadcast either. Oh, wait, no, it was for it wasn't for singing. Sorry, my bad. The RE20 was a studio microphone. It wasn't. So, I mean, yes, you can use a microphone for whatever you want. It's just, I don't know. I don't get the same soften. Don't grab your mic, please. Are you cupping it? Were you cupping? You weirdo?
What?
You look like you put a hand underneath.
Look where your head's at. Jeez.
I'm just saying. UK snuck in Vax passports for the NHS track and trace app. It went live yesterday. Yeah, the world's kind of burning right now, eh?
Seems like it.
Yeah. But by the way, this was going back to Retro Gaming Bygones. Let me look into the sale of microphones if there's one I'm looking to get rid of. We'll talk. The 705 for voiceover, no. The 705 is just a dynamic broadcast microphone. I don't find it particularly special. I like it. It's meant to be manhandled. It's meant to be manhandled pretty hard. And you can actually see the system they have on the microphone. It's double layers of rubber with double layers of metal around it.
It is shock mounted to shit inside that little box. Like,
just DM me on Twitter. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe let me confirm that I'm selling certain things, and then that's Aston Stealth. If you really want an Aston Stealth, I think that's the one microphone in this studio that I will not feel bad about getting rid of whatsoever. I'll give you a bit of a deal on it too. Podcasters, hope you like this 2.5 minute question I sent in.
That sounds like something I would do.
I've thought about sending questions into podcasters, but every time I watch his podcast, he's like, "This question's from December. Sorry, it's August." And I'm like, "So I'm going to send him in a question that he's going to answer in 8 months."
I can just look this up. What am I?
Oh my God, red wire or green wire?
Yeah,
right. I was a little concerned about that.
Gotta do that. I also want to, at some point, I want to send in Glenn a question. Glenn SMG. Just so but like a troll question, because I want to he just gets so angry. I just want to make him angry.
He's going to have a seizure one day.
He's going to have an aneurysm. Is what's going to happen. Like,
see, and the greatest thing about this is people have stopped listening to us and have started talking on their own. So podcasters walked in the room, and kind of that's where everything's focused around now. This is great. Yeah. Maybe I'll just leave it live while we just walk away from the microphone.
Yeah, we'll just go get some dinner. We'll come back. Let Banter take over.
I'm not necessarily against it. He has to read it in the high-pitched voice. Oh, yeah. Do that high-pitched voice into the...
that where he's like
Glenn.
Speeds it up. Yeah.
Glenn is great. I want to do a video with him about mic cupping with metal vocals. It's a huge issue, and I hate mic cupping.
Man, just send him in one, just give him a little thread to pull on, and he'll just go on a tangent.
No microphone was ever designed to be cupped, including this microphone.
Not true. The bullet there, the Shure bullet, the harmonica mic. That's specifically designed to be cupped.
Okay, a harmonica. Yeah.
You said no mic has ever been designed to be cupped.
You know what? I'm gonna have to give that to you. I'm gonna yeah, this microphone is not meant to be cupped. Anyone that does this to this microphone is evil, including any broadcaster. Podcaster says no, I'm listening to you. That is sweet. Andrew, my ego is much more larger than his.
I think you meant Bandrew.
Oh yeah. Bangs Naughty Bits. Yeah, literally all talking to each other. So I have my daughter working on badges and all those things for the memberships. They should be good to roll. I'm going on vacation as of this week. I won't be back for Fridays, meaning there's no live stream next week.
I think your cat just arrived.
Yes, my cat. Can you hear the cat during the actual videos? Yeah.
But no, I can hear him now, but like not.
I'll be doing a video, and my cat will just stroll downstairs and start eating in the loudest, most obnoxious fashion. I'm like, and you can't be the jerk that tells your cat to go away when they're trying to eat. So, yeah. This is my life.
Also, on a video, you get probably a lot of hate for that. All the cat people will be like, "Nyeh."
Semantic debate me, bro. Vibes on that win. Haha. No, I'm not exactly sure.
He's talking about my win. He's talking about my shitty win with the harmonica mic.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Retro Gaming Bygones stickers. These are for the membership where you can get like little emojis and stuff like that. I don't know. I've got my daughter doing up some cool ones. I actually have a one is a dude throwing up. So it's
Nice.
a crudely drawn guy that's leaning up against a wall, and you just see his head go down and then throw up come out. This is what my daughter's going to one of the top. She's going to one of the top artistic schools in North America called OCAD, and this is what she comes up with: is a GIF of a stick man throwing up. I love it. It's fantastic.
It's great though. I mean, it does the job, right? Like,
this is the only thing that's going to actually sell the product. So.
that's all you need.
Yeah. Isovox video still on the way. Oh, this is the other thing. So I went to, I've recorded video on the Isovox. It's up here. Really like the Isomic. As much as anyone wants to complain, the Isomic sounds fantastic. So I'm doing the video on that, and I'm hurrying because I've been waiting so long for a specific part from Sweden. Finally get the video, do a complete rough cut, and then I was just like, I messaged the guys in Sweden to say, hey man, video's almost good to go, and he's on holidays.
Nice.
Like,
Nice.
Come on.
I think you should kick off the video with like an ISO baby parody. I think that'd be great.
No, I use the cheesy humor in it. Only cheesy humor.
Only the supercardioid. Again, you're gonna have to figure out a shtick for hypercardioid. We are all expecting it. Don't disappoint us.
Just a heavily vibrating version of myself going screaming hypercardioid.
Yeah, just
That's
automating
probably the
Premiere,
best
just
way.
like glitching out.
Anyone else getting the new Audio Technica 2040? I'm guessing Bandrew is already ordered it or has it on the way. So I'm going to see, maybe I can, do you think I could beat Bandrew to that video? If I had...
I plead the fifth.
I could
plead the fifth.
I could call and have it rushed. Bandrew, what's your release schedule for the
What's your
2040?
timeline there, buddy? What's your timeline?
No, my big one is the only one I'm really like got a hankering for is
It's in my hands. Nice.
It's
Well,
in my hand. Oh,
I think you lost that one there, Aiden.
damn. Well, congratulations. Enjoy. I'm looking forward to getting that. The one I'm really looking forward to is the King B2. And when that one finally comes out, it's coming out on Tuesday. Son of a...
Okay, so just green screen, with another handheld, and just swap it in with just marketing picks, and then you can put it out on Monday. And there you go.
The other one is the Beacon mic. That one was teased. That looks fantastic as well. I did put an email into Beacon. They got back to me. They're not quite in the phase of rolling them out yet, but they said they'll call me when they do, which I'm looking forward to that, because that's another. There's just a ton of mics just being like, here, go amongst yourselves and record. So this I think it's going to be a fun fall. I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming out. So the King B2 will be super exciting whenever that comes out. The King B2 is pissing me off at this point. This isn't a trailer for a fucking movie. Like it's like coming soon.
The King B, it's the Roman numeral part that's a little bit.
No, I don't even care about that. What I care about is in the middle of May, you're like, King B2 is coming.
I think
soon.
they're a little too attached to this B thing.
No. I don't mind the B.
It's not. I do. I very much mind it.
The worker bee, I gotta say, I was delightfully surprised when I got to review this. Never got to do the actual original King Bee. I did find this was gaudy and a little
Gaudish.
Yeah, gaudish. Found it very gaudy, but the microphone blew me away. Now the King B2 is no longer gaudy. It no longer has that black and yellow. It actually is a nice sleek design. I think that's going to be fantastic. So
I like that.
Yeah, at least it wasn't the pod mic, which people had pre-ordered for like 6 months. No, I refuse to pre-order a microphone. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Like, I'm willing to spend a decent amount of money bringing mics into review, but pre-ordering one you're just giving them license to give you a shitty product at that point. Make them get it reviewed first. Don't give them your money before you get the friggin' mic. I live near AT, Audio Technica. Maybe I'll get one. That's nice. You can just walk over to Audio Technica. Actually, we have a Canadian version up in Montreal. They never answer their phones, though, ever. They actually, it's not even a distributor. It's an actual Audio Technica Canadian division.
Oh,
But I've called several times and they're like, "Would you like to be put through to the operator?" And then it just goes to Audio Technica.
Do
Please
they do
leave a
sales
message.
though, or is it strictly like R&D? Like, what
No,
is
it's
the
sales.
purpose?
It's sales. It's well, they're their own distributor in Canada,
Uh-huh.
so they have a Canadian division where they get the mics. That's why we have the 2040 in Canada right now. It hit the shelves the same day that it was released. However, anything Zoom, Rode, or otherwise takes about 2 months to hit the shelf. Like the Samsung Q9U, still can't get it in Canada. You still cannot order the Q9U in Canada.
Oh, Samsung.
And Samsung will not send me anything, so I guess I'm not reviewing any of your products. They actually got back to me once, and they're like, "Could you send us your YouTube channel?" Because I asked for just a review unit. That's all I wanted. I'll send it back to you. I'm more than happy to. I don't need extra shit, so feel free. And
Exactly.
they got back to me like, "We're going to check out your YouTube channel. We'll get back to you." And then silence. And I'm like, "Well, that's cool. That's fine. But I can't buy the microphones here." Like, I think the best I can get is that little square Samsung one. I can't remember the name of it. It's a cute little mic, but it costs like $60-$70.
I have a few Samsung products, not mics, but generally not a huge fan of the brand, to be honest.
Cardioid
Personally?
is Jennifer Lopez's rear end. Hypercardioid is Kate Beckinsale's.
Nice.
Wait,
Nice.
visualizing.
So
Visualize. Shh, don't want to hear your voice. Okay. All right, there we go.
So what's supercardioid then? You didn't throw that in there. Come on. You gotta
Supercardioid.
complete the analog.
That's
Let's
Kim
do it.
Kardashian. Okay, so moving down. Had tons of people asking the sub where they could find the dang pod mic for months. Oh god, yeah. The King B2 looks fantastic. Nice sleek look, but fancy yellow logo. I'm a little worried about the King B2 and the price. They're coming in awfully low on that. That's my one concern with the King B2.
What's the MSRP on it?
Well, the original MSRP on the Neat mics was not as low as it was when Neat was bought. Neat's prices, like they took a dive over time.
That makes me nervous.
And yeah, like seeing that it's only, I think it's 150 US for the mic, which is not bad. But I mean, I think you've kind of got some high standards for quality and sound quality for that. What do you guys think of the price of the King B2? What is the price of the King B2? Oh, 169, 159. That is, yeah, we're just saying that. Luft. Sorry, man. Hint of shrimp, Luft. What surprise? The Meteor. I never caught up with that. It's Samson squared one. All right, am I gonna have to find the name of the bloody mic now?
Probably, because otherwise, yeah. You just
My buddy has it.
Yeah, I would not have paid $350 for the King B. No way.
Samsung
No
Go
way.
mic, I think it's called. No, that's not the one.
There are better mics for $350 that I could buy that would not be the King B.
You know what? A lot of people, and this is the thing, the King B and the Worker B really slugged outside of their weight zone, man. Like they did not mess around with that. What I think the Samsung.
That's always the question I ask. Is anytime a mic is priced at a point over, I mean, usually it's over like $500, but I'm always like, okay, for that price, what's a more desirable product I could get?
Yeah,
for that
but,
same amount of money.
But I mean, the King B actually really did. It passed a lot of the tests by reviewers. There it is, Samsung Go mic portable USB condenser microphone. So it's a little square microphone portable thing. So I was right. It is that.
Nailed it.
It's been a long week. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm on holidays.
For those that.
No, like as I had today off. It was fantastic.
Oh.
I got to sleep
this
in
week
this
you're on
morning.
holidays.
Yeah.
Screw you. I didn't get to sleep in.
Original King B was $350, so the fact that it was discounted to $130, I jumped on it. It was blown away. $170 seems fair for the King B too.
It's better.
So a lot of people think the original Neat microphone's price was actually relatively fair for the performance. I believe the Worker B was $250, and a lot of people were like, "No, that's good. That actually performs at that level." From a Canadian perspective, $250, sure, like that. The Worker B sounds fantastic. I didn't like the. Okay, so the shock mount is stupid. I get it. It's a square microphone, but this shock mount is just like, come on. You didn't need to lean into it that much, did you? Like, did you have to lean into that black and yellow? Like, anyways.
Yeah, not a fan of the look. Not a fan of the look in some of the hardware.
Hypercardioid Man obviously has a lot of bass in his voice. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And the worker bee was $50 worth of metal alone.
Yeah, not wrong.
The base of this, I actually took the bottom off because you can remove it. It's literally just a small little hole in the bottom of it where the little the electronics and all the stuff goes. It's very, very simple concept and heavy. But still, once again, it's a cool mic and it sounds great.
So I think Bangs is insinuating that your wife needs to be...
Oh, hypercardioid woman.
Yeah.
Oh, Bangs, you're going to love it, man. In the Isovox video, my wife actually shows up in that.
Making it a cameo.
You're going to love it. Another cameo. It's fantastic. She does things. What's that?
It was the right. You could easily murder someone with it.
There's a lot of microphones you could actually commit murder with.
I've got that shitty ART tube mic that used to be their flagship there, the M4. It's made of fucking ceramic. Like, I mean, you'd break it, but you could smash someone's head with that and easily cause some serious damage.
From the perspective of an SM58, though, think about it. You can hammer a nail with this thing. You could crush a skull.
Oh, yeah.
If you can hammer a nail, you can crush a skull. We should need to start that mantra.
The thickness of the thickness of the steel shell on that alone is...
well, and even if that gives in, you can use the other end. You know? Just
yeah.
I haven't thought about this.
There's a really tiny, like, rapier. And just
Oh,
try to stab someone with, like, the XLR end.
Does anyone want... somebody dropped this off. A classic iRig mic? No? Anyone?
Oh. Pardon me. I think I need to go I need to go and eject my lunch. Pardon me. No, honestly, I've used a few iRig products. I've never used one of their self-contained sort of mic setups, but I don't know.
No, it's not even actually by Apple. It's an offshoot brand. Podcastage. That's a T-shirt slogan if I've ever heard one. If you can hammer a nail, you can crush a skull. It's true though. Think about it. If you can actually pound a nail through wood,
yeah,
a skull is nothing.
Assuming we're not talking about like a brat nail, like a full-on nail here.
Yeah.
You know, I could pound in a brat nail with my fist.
You don't use your SM58 for brad nails. That's just silly.
I'm a one hit and it's in the wall. Like, not even like half a hit. Like the mic just approaches it and it goes into the wall.
Black metal band name Skullhammer. I like it.
Ah, that's good.
I dropped my worker bee on a stapler. It fell on the stand hanging over my desk. I was not being careful, but the stapler exploded. The mic is fine. Yeah, that's pretty bad when the stapler gets destroyed by your microphone. iRig stuff is so dated. I know, right?
Yeah.
Actually, this is my buddy actually brought it over.
It's dated. What is it? An IK multimedia product? Because that's, I think, the original iRig trademark was IK's. I think. Podcastage, correct me on that. I feel like you would be aware.
It just says Mike iRig. That's all it says.
Well, that's instilling a lot of confidence.
Right, actually, you can undo that. Let's check out the capsule on this. Yeah, my buddy dropped it off. He was like, "Can you do a review on this?" I'm like, "I don't want to." Look at that.
Oh, hang on. I gotta wait for it to show up.
I
gotta wait for it to show up. Again, I have their guitar interface, and it's okay-ish.
This capsule is the same capsule probably in a cell phone.
It's a triangle. Nice.
Just wait. Look underneath.
And it's like 80% plastic.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's an actual cell phone capsule.
in a handheld mic.
In a handheld mic. So this is basically like taking the microphone out of your cell phone and just
sticking it on a big steel dick.
Look at that.
Like, is it even like what's it like the actual shaft? What's it made of?
Oh, it's metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
like a roll of quarters if you wanted to punch somebody. Everything's really violent today. Oh.
Yeah. Scratching skulls, punching people.
This unscrews too. Oh, excellent. Oh
dear.
It's just a red and a blue. Nothing major there.
Nothing interesting.
Sorry.
A couple of wires.
But the idea that they would just take an iPhone
some kind of a very
mic.
minuscule capsule. And
This must be the same thing that's in your iPhone.
probably.
Like it. So you
Probably.
basically get that sound.
Now, is that what's
all
the
know
end of
the
that? Is
sound.
the end of that a lightning connector or a micro connector or a C?
No. 3.5, buddy. 3.5.
So basically, we tell I still need a dongle.
You still need a dongle for this. And what I love is you can also put your headphones in there. Look at that. I mean, you can actually plug this in and then plug your headphones in so you can
Okay,
monitor.
so it's got the TRRS situation.
Yeah, monitoring is very important with your iRig or your.
Yeah, but most
your-
apps don't let you monitor. Like so that interface that I bought for my camera, that little $100 job, which is great. So it's got two settings. It's got a camera wiring setting and a phone wiring. So one uses the third ring, one uses the second ring, the other one doesn't. When you have it set to camera mode, it uses internal headphone app. Like it just uses it feeds whatever it's coming through its inputs to the
that
headphones,
makes sense, actually,
which
yeah.
is useful. When you
Yeah.
change it to phone wiring, it substitutes that for whatever comes through the phone. So half the time, when I'm recording my phone, I still use the camera wiring and just plug it into an adapter, so I get that built-in sort of headphone like input and monitoring.
Phones can do a lot, but they just can't quite do everything. There's always one little thing there. Eh?
Nope.
All right. Well, I think in an iPhone 5. Don't worry. I'm not reviewing an iRig mic. Don't worry. That was my buddy dropped it off, and I'm like,
hey, I'll send you my iPhone 3GS, and you can review it on that. Because it's the only phone that I still have.
You still have 3GS?
I don't. It's not my main phone. I got a 12.
It's not my main phone.
It's still. It makes a great coaster. It's a good backlit coaster. It's great. I love it.
It's an iPod.
I only suggest it because I think it's the only iPhone that I have left that still barely works. That has an actual 3.5 millimeter jack on it.
You could use that as an iPhone or an iPad or iPod. My God, what's wrong with me?
I use it for audio. Like I can't. It's I think running like iOS like 9 because Apple won't let you install any more recent iOS on it.
Luft says always keep your worker bee in its protective dust cover bag.
I like my U87 has a little dust sleeve, as I call it, and my Vanguard V13 has a dust sleeve. I'm actually kind of anal about that because if I can save some dust from landing on those capsules as much as I can, so when I'm not talking to them, I think it is good. It's a nifty thing.
Maybe I should be a little more anal about it. I don't know if I'm going to do that with my $79 neat mics. Worker bee.
No. One thing I would suggest, you can actually go on like Amazon or a lot of sites and you can get like little glasses pouches that are essentially the same material as the sleeves. They have a little drawstring at the bottom. You can get like 50 of them for like $10.
Nice.
And so I just get a bunch of those and just like I have that habit of having like mics staying in the storage room on sticks, so I don't have to clip them on or anything. They're all ready to go when I need to use them, and I just have those on all.
I want to get the quick change. I just did this in front of the camera, and people are probably, if you don't
cringing.
have sound, I want to get some of the quick change for the mics.
Those are nifty.
I've never
used
every
one of them,
single mic. Just just one on every single mic. I find it difficult using a condenser mic when recording classical guitar. Too many highs picked up. Nail noise on my nylon string sounds ugly.
Yep, agreed. You can use a tube condenser mic. They're warmer. Again, my V13 I've used for finger picking steel and nylon guitar, and it seems to sound way more, not quite as flattering as like a ribbon mic would. Yeah. Like a good Royer or Coles, like a Coles 4038. Sounds awesome on classical guitar. So if you're looking eventually to spend a lot of money on a really good mic for that stuff, go for the Coles.
So
all the ribbon.
I'm just reading the Skullhammer 58 and stuff. Love it. Podcastage loves the ribbon. That's good.
I might make that my YouTube channel name whenever I get to the drive 58? To do that. Skullhammer Studios.
Skullhammer Studios. There's someone in Norway that's already come up with that. You know,
probably.
That, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's you need to wear white face paint with the black eyeshadow and stuff like that if you're gonna have that name.
Go full like quasi Slipknot vibes.
No. We're talking Norwegian black metal. Come on, Slipknot.
Oh, but you talk about stage antics like that, and I always think of Slipknot.
Norwegian black metal's better. No church is safe. You know. Corpse paint. Thank you. That's
corpse paint.
Yeah, that's what you need. If you start Skullhammer Studios, I support it. Corpse paint, though.
Corpse
I'll
paint.
come
That's the
on
one. That's the one contingent point.
I'll
Corpse
come
paint.
on your channel with corpse paint as well, so you don't feel weird. That would
Again.
You know,
I've done way weirder things than corpse paint. That's not.
especially
That's not
on
even.
camera.
That's not even on the first page of weird things that I've done, man. Like.
Everyone's searching Pornhub for Dylan
Yep.
Lalonde. All right. That's it for me, guys. I have to get out of here. I'm ready to fall asleep. I also have to go eat. Yeah, corpse paint and Pornhub. That was a great end to this. Have y'all seen the channel 2 Minutes Till Late Night?
I have not.
Right.
I'm interested though.
All right, one last one.
One last one. One last point.
Oh,
Just for you, Bandrew.
2 Minutes to Late Night YouTube channel. I'm on. Oh God.
I don't want to know.
Brilliant.
I don't want to know.
Coheed and Cambria, Mastodon Primus Tool, Rush's Anthem Color, the Snyder Cut. Hardcore cover with. This is gonna be good. All right. Holding Out for Prosciutto, Bonnie Tyler parody. All right, I'll be binge watching this later. Yeah. You know when you're exhausted and you don't want to really like change to another YouTube video, so you're like, fuck it, I'll just sit through it. Yeah, that's what that channel's gonna be.
That's what it's gonna be. Just a string of that.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Have yourselves a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you in a couple weeks, and don't worry, I've got videos to take you through all that. And then we'll be coming back with. I've got a couple videos planned for this one, I think. So, cheers.